this any hunting in 50 years. Most of it was when my dad, when I was younger, we'd go squirrel hunting in East Texas, and I had never hunted since then. And so I bought some guns, and I thought about going hunting, and I got on the websites for hunting, and then I just y'all's popped up, said free hunting. I said, well, that caught my attention right there. And so I clicked on it and saw it and put in my email. I think it was back in March. And I totally forgot about it, you know. In the meantime, I bought the gun I used up here the last few days. And and then I got an email from you, or I was going down with you, I said, Ranch Boss. I said, who is that? I clicked on it and said, congratulations. I said, you won a free hog hunt. I said, that sounds like a winner.
You remember, at that point, you remembered that you had entered our drawing.
Yeah. And
your name got pulled.
Right. And like I say, I've been going through some stuff, and then after I got that settled out, and I decided to come.
Well, what kind of gun did you buy?
Bought a Marlin 30-30 Winchester.
That is a great gun.
Oh yeah.
Or did you leave it open sights, or did you put a scope on it?
Well, it came with a scope.
Oh, it did.
But you really don't need it. From where I was hunting and where I shot, you don't need a scope.
What spots did you hunt?
Well, I started out with a Y blind, and I shot one that night, first evening I got here.
Was that the T-blind?
T-blind.
T-blind. Yeah.
Y blind.
Yeah, that's right at the edge of the honey hole. And the hogs come up out of that bottom after dark.
And well, they just put the corn out, and they showed up, and I could barely see them. And well, they was all standing there like a trough, and I got one of my sights and I popped him and he fell down. I was shocked, because like I say, that's the first time I'd ever shot anything other than a target. That's right. But I got that one, and then let's see, next day I went to the red blind in a honey hole.
In a honey hole, yeah.
And I seen a couple, but they wasn't close enough. There's too much brush.
Were they running when they come through?
Yeah, pretty much. They run across the roads, but if you wasn't watching when they come across, I wouldn't be able to hit them anyway. And then they hooked me down to the, I think you said northeast corner.
Yeah, northeast corner in the honey hole.
Right, in the honey.
After lunch.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's when it paid off.
They come in there.
So when she took me out there, they all took off. But she said they'll probably come back, and I think about an hour later they did. A couple of them showed up.
Well, what happens is you're in the northeast corner, and when guys get to walking, they flush hogs ahead of them, and they don't even know they flushed hogs. And where are they flushing them to? Right on top of the northeast corner. And guys love that spot. Year after year, they're coming back. And northeast corner, you hunted some of our very best spots, even red blind.
Yeah.
We got a fella here now. First time, and he's in his mid to late 40s, and the first time he ever hunted in his whole life was a year and a half ago here.
Wow.
And it was life-changing. Like, never hunted, never even owned a gun. He borrowed a gun to come here. Had such a good time. He was back 2 weeks later, and he lives in LA. That's a long drive.
Yes, it is.
But it's a long flight, too.
Right.
Anyway, long story short, in a year and a half, he's been here about a dozen times.
Wow.
And he got so excited about hunting that he bought a ranch in East Texas. But it's just raw land, takes a lot of money to develop it.
Oh, yeah.
So he's every 6-8 weeks he's here. He's here right now.
Wow.
And he brings his son. His son's been here half the trips, and he brought one of his relatives, and they just want to come out here and have some fun hog hunting.
Oh yeah.
But so when you were squirrel hunting as a kid, and it's been over 50 years since you did that.
Oh, at least. Yeah, because I'm 64 now. That's probably about, well, yeah, 40. I was in my teenage years. Me and him would go hunting.
And you were probably sitting in that blind reminiscing about the good hunts that you had as a kid, weren't you?
Yeah. He had two brothers that lived up there in St. Augustine too, and they always had squirrel dogs. And one of my uncles, he could sit there on the porch and he could talk one of them dogs into the woods. He'd tell him to go get it, and that dog would take off, and he'd turn around and look at him. He'd go get it, go get it.
Those are some fond memories, not just the hunting, but
sure.
You brought the squirrels back home.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes the mamas would skin those squirrels, and I had a grandma that did that, and she would serve up. She wanted to skin the animals. No, just bring them to me. She just loved skinning them and gutting them, and she'd slow cook them and squirrel dumplings for dinner. And those are some fond memories. So I know you had been sitting in that blind just reminiscing about some of the good times you had as a boy, squirrel hunting and eating the squirrels that you brought home.
Oh, well, we didn't bring them home. We stayed with his mom there, with my grandmother, and we'd skin them. And of course, I was a young kid, and you know, we'd get out there to skin them, you know, and he'd give me, hold on to them legs. He'd be pulling it off, and it'd slip out, and he'd say, "Hold on that squirrel, boy," because I wasn't used to all the blood and guts and everything.
Oh yeah, you just wanted to jump back and get out of the way of the stuff.
Like I say, I enjoyed it. Like I say, fond memories. Dad.
Well, you're only a couple hours away.
Yeah, well, I don't take long.
You load up a friend on the next trip and bring them on out here and share some of our videos. And you said you've been watching a few of them.
Oh yeah. And I've enjoyed watching them. Like I say, and all the questions and answers that it helps out a lot.
Well, let me just ask you this, because we started putting the videos out just a few years ago, and excuse me, one thing that I noticed after we had it up for a while and the customers were watching the videos before they came here, what it appeared that they were more relaxed, more comfortable when they got here, because they've already seen me, I'm the owner.
Oh yeah.
They've already seen the facilities.
Right.
They've seen the hunts. So that level of anxiety comes way down.
Yeah, your comfort level, right.
And the comfort level goes up.
Yeah.
And in the past, I would get guys that maybe they didn't even read the website at the time. Frequently asked questions has always been there.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't even read it, and they would show up, and they were like a deer in the headlights. Their eyes are this big around, and they're just kind of looking around.
Yeah.
And they're saying, "Well, I didn't know this, and I didn't know that. And nobody told me about that, and I didn't know I needed orange, and I didn't." Well, first of all, they didn't even read anything. Right. But when you look at the videos, you notice, well, everybody out there in that field has orange on. Gee, I think I might need to bring some orange.
Yeah.
Or we're night hunting. Well, if you're hunting at night, you're going to need at least a flashlight.
Yeah.
You know. So it's been helpful, and our customers have been more relaxed, a higher level of comfort by looking at those videos.
Yeah. Well, it's like I said, when I sent you the confirmation that I was going to do the hunt, but hadn't scheduled, I said, it just feels like family. Seeing y'all talk, and there's just the camaraderie between the people, and you just feel like family once you get here.
And that's real important. That's real important. And I'm in the hunting business, but beyond that, I'm in the hospitality business. And it's important that my customers feel good while they're there, and they feel good when they go home. And by coming in with a certain education before you even get here, it's easier for that to be accomplished. You had a good time while you were here, and it wasn't a bunch of, well, I didn't know this, and this, and because I wasn't prepared, I didn't have a good time. That didn't happen in your case. And in a lot of cases now, that doesn't happen anymore. So the videos have been extremely helpful in just making a better experience for our customers, which makes it a better experience for us.
Oh yeah. Well, just like you said, when you under promise and over deliver, and y'all definitely did that.
Well, I appreciate that.
Definitely did that.
Well, Jerry, it's about breakfast time.
Okay.
And there's one thing that you might not know about us, but around here, we never miss a meal, so we better get in line.
That sounds like a good idea to me.
Let's go get some grub.
Thank you, sir.
All right.